every class in Java. Which of these class is superclass of every class in Java? From that name itself, we can guess the answer, which is suitable. Sujita, array list actually, it is a collection concept, which is one of the list concept. Abstract, which comes under the abstraction. Okay. Yes, Harshini, Priyashi, Nalini. Yes, object class. Yes, Sritika. Yes, object class, which is the right one. Okay, so which of the class is superclass of every class in Java, which is object class. Next, clone is a protected method. True or false? Okay. Okay. Again, Shrutika, Arshini, okay. Bharat. Yes, true. Clone is a protected method. Yes. From the outside package, we can use this clone from using inheritance concept. So java.lang.clonable, which is the actual interface, okay, is a type of DAS. It mentioned the number like 3 option. If a class wants to enable the cloning operation, that class should be implements the clonable interface. So the clonable interface, which is a type of the next, the next. Actually, the remaining one, which is the answer, A. Okay. So clonable interface in Java, which is a type of marker interface, important MCQ question. Okay. So first, okay, what do you mean by marker interface? Marker interface means an interface with empty body. Okay. So no any method declaration is there, no any variable declaration is there, just empty. Okay. So clonable interface is a type of marker interface. So by default, clone method do shallow copy. So actually two types of copy, shallow and deep. So by default, clone method do shallow copy. True or false? Harshini, A. Any other? Any other answer? A. Okay. Any other answer? A. Yes. A is the right. Next. Constructor of object is not called when clone method is called. Constructor of object is not called when clone method is called. True or false? B. Okay, okay. Any other answer? B. Any other answer? What about others? 133 people are here. Only few students are attending. B. B. False. Actually, A. True. Constructor of object is not called when clone method is called. Okay. Next, sir, you need three concept. Exception handling. Okay. See this image. This image depicts an air hostess giving a demonstration of steps that we have to take as passenger in case of emergency. So, why this demonstration is important? Because you have to be aware of how to tackle the situation in case of emergency while you are flying abroad an aircraft. So, this example demonstrates how you have to think in advance the many possibilities of mishaps that can occur, right? So similarly, when we write programs as part of an application, we may have to visualize the challenges that can disrupt the normal flow of execution of the code. Okay, so according to that, we have to take some preventive measure to overcome these disruptions. So in Java, this mechanism comes in the form of exception handling. So, see, in procedural programming, like C language, which is one of part of procedural language, in C, it is the responsibility of the programmer to ensure that the programs are error-free in all aspects. So that is error have to be checked and handled by manual. But in Java, it provides an excellent mechanism for handling runtime errors. Okay, see, runtime errors. So obviously, so exception. So exceptions, it's dealing with the runtime errors. So the mechanism which is handle the runtime errors, which is exception handling. Okay. So anyone, if anyone please guess the output, what is the output of this program? So actually, in a variable A, which is initialized with 2, and one variable B, which is declared. So B equal to A divided by 0. Okay. I'm going to print B. So what is the output of this program? What is the output? 0. Any other answer? Garbage value, runtime error. Yes. Garbage value, runtime error. Okay, let us see. Error. Okay. It's almost you have to come the point. See, this is the output. Yes. Exception in grid main java.lang.arithmetic exception that is divided by 0 at arithmetic.main. So in the statement 7. Okay. So how it is possible? The answer is simple: exception handling. Okay. Now see, first what do you mean by exception? Exception is an abnormal condition that arises at runtime. Okay. So that arises at runtime. So we can also give the definition as it is an event that disrupts the normal flow of the program. You can choose any one of the definition. So okay, your choice. And you can also call it as it is an object which is thrown at runtime. Okay, so these are only some few definitions of exception. Okay, so next, what is exception handling? So it is a mechanism to handle exception or runtime errors. Okay, so what's the necessity of handling exceptions? Because we have to preserve the normal flow of the application. Okay, so if we want to preserve the normal flow of the application can be maintained in our aspects means we have to implement exception handling mechanism. Next, some few types of errors actually. Okay, the first error, syntax error. So syntax error means if if you violate some rules of the some existing rules means, for example, in Java system.out.println, in that system here the S just starts with capital letter, right? So capital letter, if you are starts with the lowercase means it will obviously bring error. Okay, so some rules are there in Java. So some things are starts with uppercase, some things are starts with lowercase. So a variable means it starts with like this. Some rules are there. If we violate the rule means, then it obviously brings some errors. That is the part of syntax error. Okay, so these syntax errors are deducted by the compiler. Okay, so at compilation stage itself, if any error is kept in the program as syntax error means that error is thrown the compile time only. Runtime errors, another type of error, runtime errors. It occurs while the program is running if the environment detects an operation that is impossible to carry out. Okay, so at runtime only, the JVM just detects such kind of error, then you can't proceed the programs, and it obviously throws some error, that is runtime errors. Okay, so at runtime error means at compile time no error is displayed. Okay, as usual the compilation is successful, but the error is displayed at runtime only. Logic error means the logic of the program is wrong. Okay, it is also so syntax error, logic error. So these types of errors so are also making by programmer. It is in the hands of programmer only. So the logic of the program is wrong means then it doesn't perform the way it was intended to. Actually, we can't do anything, right? The logic of the program should be maintained. Okay, so these are all the possible errors. So syntax error, logic errors, these types of errors are comes to the compile time errors. Okay, but runtime errors means it is only possible in runtime only. So obviously exception is one of the part of runtime errors. Okay. Next, types of exceptions. Okay, so exceptions are this is also an MCQ part. There are mainly two types of exceptions. Okay, so checked exceptions, unchecked exceptions. Okay, uh, so in my it's actually the Sun microsystem says there are three types of exceptions. They have divided the exceptions as unchecked exceptions, and error. Okay, so checked exceptions. Some exceptions are checked at compile time. Okay, so these are already some predefined exceptions are already designed by Sun Microsystems. So the checked exceptions means some exceptions are checked at the compile time. Unchecked exception means at compile time there is no any error produced at compile time. So they are checked at runtime only. So one more thing, one more category they have added as error. See here the root of the class. The root of the class which is starts with object. Okay. Next, throwable. So from the throwable class there are two derivation. There are two categories, that is exception categories, error categories. Okay. Exception categories means the checked exceptions as well as unchecked exceptions all are coming to the part of exception category. Class not found exception. Okay, IO exception, AWT, that is our windowing toolkit exception, runtime exception. So runtime exception means that is a null pointer exception, index out of a bounds exception, that is which is related to array index out of bound exception, then illegal argument exception. These are all the so already predefined some exceptions which is coming to the category of both as checked and as well as unchecked. So error means some things which is related to systematic error, technical error, virtual machine error, linkage error, so AWT error. So which is coming to the part of error category. Okay, several more cases are there. Okay, some few cases are displayed. So categories of some predefined exceptions, which is categorized into checked and unchecked. Okay, so what do you mean the checked exception? Checked exception means at compile time. Some exceptions are checked at compile time. Unchecked exceptions means some exceptions are checked at runtime only. So this is also one of the important MCQ part as well as your academic and also the placement related thing. Class not found exception, interrupted exception, IO exception, SQL exception, file not found exception. These kind of exceptions are checked at compile time. That is why it is coming to the category of checked exceptions. So unchecked exception to null pointer, so some arithmetic, casting problem, array index out of problems, illegal thread state problem. Some things are coming to the category of unchecked exceptions. Okay. So next, exception handling. Okay, it's the major concept, exception handling. How the exceptions are handled in Java. Okay, the important terms. Exception handling means some terms are automatically coming into our mind. The terms try, catch. Okay, so try, the main into two things which is important, try, catch. So what do you mean by try? What do you mean by catch? Okay, next, try. What do you mean by try? So here also I have included four important concepts. Try, throw, catch, finally. Okay. So first thing, these are all the exception handling terms. Okay. Important exception handling terms. First one, try. It is used to enclose a segment of code that may produce an exception. If you thought this part of code will bring an exception at runtime, means that part of code will include in the try block. Okay, so it is used to enclose a segment of code that may produce an exception. That block which is included in the try block. Next, throw. It is used to generate an exception or to describe the instance of the exception. Okay, if you want to throw a particular exception, means you have to use the keyword throw. Okay, to generate a particular exception or describes the instance of the exception. Let me see in the upcoming slides. Okay, the syntax of throw. Next, important. Actually, try after that. Catch only will comes to the place. Catch, it is placed directly after the try block. Okay, see, important, note it of the point. The catch block, which is placed directly after the try block to handle one or more exception types. Okay, so this is the important thing. So in the catch block, which is placed directly after the try block to handle one or more exception types, which means a single try block can able to throw one or more exceptions. So it can handle more than one exception for a single try block. Okay, a single try block and the more than one catch block, that is. Next, finally. Okay, so finally, which is an optional statement. Okay, so you may include the finally block or you may not include the final block. Okay, which is an optional statement used after a try catch block. Okay, it is used after a try catch block to run a segment of code regardless if a exception is generated. Okay, see, sometimes you want to close your database connection. Okay, sometimes you have to close the IO strings. So these statements like closing the database connection, closing the IO streams, so these things are actually included in the finally block. Okay, so irrespective, regardless of if exception is generated or not, the statement which are included in the finally block, which is executed always. Okay, that's the important thing, but it is an optional one. Okay. See the next syntax. Okay. This is try. Okay, so try means what? The code which might throw an exception. Okay, so if any part of code which is might throw exception, if you thought this part of code which might throw an exception, means that code should be included in the try. Next, after the try, the catch block should be placed. Okay, so after the actually this is the uh, closing price of try. Okay, right? After the closing price of try, the catch block should be executed. Okay, so what is catch block? The code to handle an exception. Okay, it may be a simple a print statement of an exception. Okay, so catch, which is a code to handle an exception. Next, a single try block can go multiple catch. Okay, so first catch, which is handle some arithmetic exception, means the second catch for array index out of bound exception. Okay, so a single try block can have more than one catch. Next, finally, always executed whether an exception was thrown or not. So see, when an exception occurs within a try block, okay, so when an exception occurs within a try block at a particular statement in a program, means the rest of the statements in try block are not executed and the control of execution directly gets passed to the subsequent catch block. Okay, see, so When a statement in a try block is thrown an exception means it's raised an exception means the rest of the remaining statements in the try block are not executed. Okay, so the control of execution directly gets passed to the catch block. It is also an important MCQ. Directly gets passed to the subsequent catch block. That is why we have included such statements in the finally block, irrespective of the exception. That is exception. Sometimes the exception may raised or sometimes may not raised. So irrespective of the exception, the statements in finally block, which is always executed. Okay. Next, see, this is the we have already seen this code in the previous slides. Okay, this is the class is simple. Okay, within the main one variable is initialized with int data equal to 50 divided by 0. So system dot out dot next after the int data equal to 50 divided by 0, one print statement is there, that is rest of the code. Okay, so what is the output? We know already. This is the output. Actually, exception in thread main, which is like actually a tree format like Java dot lang dot arithmetic exception. What is the name of the exception divided by 0? It is automatically displayed by the compiler or JVM by 0. So rest of the code, see here the rest of the code is not, this is the actually output. Okay, so this is actually output, but the rest of the code is not executed. That is the statement, rest of the code. That statement is not printed. Okay, so actually, how the statement is printed? Exception in thread main java.lang arithmetic exception. Or you add here any try catch block, but how it is possible? But it is possible by JVM, a default exception handler. The answer is a default exception handler mechanism is possible in Java. Okay, but when such things are handled by JVM, the rest of the things are not displayed. Yes, the rest of the things are not displayed. But if you are taking the part of, that is, if a programmer taking the part of exception handling mechanism means we can preserve the normal flow of the exception. That is, we can able to print the statement rest of the code. Okay, so that is the difference, the default exception handling mechanism as well as our programmer handling the exception mechanisms. First, JVM, see, Java virtual machine, first check whether the exception is handled or not. Okay, if any try catch block is there or not, that's the thing, whether the exception is handled or not. If exception is not handled, JVM provides a default exception handler that performs the following task, that is just prints out exception description. See java.lang.arithmetic exception divided by 0, that is that exception description is automatically printed. It is in the form of stack trace. Okay, it is in that thing is called stack trace. It is in the form of stack trace, and it causes the program to terminate. Okay, so this is the mechanism, default exception handler mechanism done by JVM only. Okay, it causes the program to terminate. Suppose if exception is handled by the application programmer, the normal flow of the application is maintained. That is, the rest of the code is executed. Okay, see here the statement which brings which we have thought the statement is produced such errors, like what is the statement here, int data equal to 50 divided by 0. Okay, it might produce runtime error. That statement is included in the try block. Okay, so within the try block I have included the line int data equal to 50 divided by 0. So after the try block, the catch block should be placed. Here, what type of exception is raised? I know arithmetic exception. It comes into the category of arithmetic exception. You are not aware of the particular type of exception means just you are using the exception. Just omit the arithmetic. Okay, not at all issue. If you are not aware of the particular, the name of exception means you are simply using exception. That is enough. But Divided by 0 means it is coming to the part of arithmetic exception. That is why in the catch block, so the parameter arithmetic exception E, which is the object. Okay, E, so arithmetic exception, which is the already predefined exception, we are creating the object. Next, just print the statement system dot out dot println of E. That statement is in the form of stack trace. That is Java dot lang dot arithmetic exception. It is in the form. Okay, that is the description of the exception is printed. So I'm just the rest of the code. I'm just added the next after the catch block, the system dot out dot println the rest of the code. Okay, I just include the code here. Since here the exception handling mechanism is carried out by the try catch block, the rest of the code is automatically printed. Okay, so this is the difference between the output that is using the try catch block. Else it is hand over to the JVM. Okay, so this is the difference. Okay, next, multiple catch block. Okay, so multiple catch block. If more than one exception can occur, then we use multiple catch block. Okay, so when an exception is thrown, each catch block is inspected in order. Okay, it will come to the first catch block. If it is not suitable, means coming to the second one. So when an exception is thrown, each catch statement is inspected in order, and the first one whose type matches that of the exception is executed. Okay, so which one is matches at the first time means that statement is executed. Okay, it is also an important MCQ part. So in the placement related thing. Okay. So after one catch statement executes, the others are bypassed. Okay. So see if it, in your program a single try block and three catch block are placed after the try means that first try block, which is the type of arithmetic exception. In your try block, an arithmetic exception is thrown means the first try block is the first block catch block which is executed because that is the block which is executed for handled for arithmetic exception. The remaining things are like that, some SQL exception, array index out of bound exception, such that. So if the catch block one which is executed means the remaining things are bypassed. Okay, so that is the matter. Next, multiple catch exception syntax. So easy syntax. The code which might throw an exception, which is included in the try block. So after the try block, the catch blocks are placed. The first catch block, so one type of exception. It is like just object one. The second catch block, which is handled for some other type of exception. Okay, so this is the syntax for multiple catch exception. Yes, nested try statement, which is also possible in Java. Nested try statements, that is, a try statement can be inside the block of another try statement. Okay, so outer block, which is called outer try block, inner try block. So each time a try statement is entered, the context of the exception is pushed onto the tag. Okay, so as different try blocks are there, the respective catch statement are executed in the manner of stack operation. Okay. So if an inner try statement does not have a catch, if any inner try statement does not have a catch means, then the next try statement catch handler are inspected for a match. Okay. So if any inner try statement does not have a catch means, the next try statement's catch handler will take over the path. Okay. One of the simple nested try block. This is first, which is try block. The outer try block. In the outer try block, actually, one try catch statement is there. See, so within the outer try block, one try catch statement is there. This is the catch for the outer try block. This is the inner try block. Okay, so this is the outer try catch block. This is nested try block. So wait a minute. So my voice is audible. So anyone please confirm me if my voice is audible.
Yes,
Ah,
audible, Gayatri, audible.
thank you. Next, a simple program. The name of just name of the class exception. Within the name, first one outer try block. Okay, so this is the outer try block. So within the outer try block, now here you have placed two try catch block. See, this is going to divide. That is, this is a try for arithmetic exception divided by 0. Okay, so this try and catch. Next try block. So next try block for it's dealing with array concept. That is array index out of bound exception. Okay, so within the try you have placed two try catch block. So the last catch for the outer try. Okay, so this is the way of how to perform nested try in Java. Next, finally block. We have already seen this concept. Finally, so it is a block that is always executed. Very simple definition. So finally, block means it is a block that is always executed. So to perform some important tasks such as closing connection, IO stream, closing some IO streams, so etc. You have to keep these kinds of statements in the finally block. It is used to put cleanup code such as the second thing. Uh, Sorry, leave the point, the same point. So finally creates a block of code that will be executed after a try catch block has completed. Okay, it's important thing. So finally the block is executed after the try catch block is completed. Okay. Next, finally block will be executed whether or not an exception is thrown, right? Irrespective of the exception, that is sometimes the exception may thrown, sometimes the exception may not thrown. So irrespective of the exception, the finally block will always be executed. Okay, so that is before terminating a program, JVM executes finally block. That's the important notable point in finally. Before terminating the program, the JVM executes finally block. If any finally block which is included in your code means that things always executed before the termination of the program. Okay. So another one of the notable thing, finally must be followed by try or catch block. Okay. This is also one of the notable point. So important MCQ point. See here the program code. In the program code, just check exception occur. Okay, two possible cases are there. Sometimes the exception is occur, sometimes the exception is not occur. So yes or no. If it is yes, means the exception is handled. Okay, just if exception is handled by the proper try catch block. Okay, so else means JVM will hand over the part. So yes means the finally block is executed. So if exception handled, no means the finally block is also executed. Okay. Same previous thing, exception occurred. If that exception is not occurred, okay, then also the finally block is executed. Okay. Note that point. Next. So here the same thing. So this is the output. See, uh, the statement, the same statement, int data equal to 25 divided by 0. This statement produce divided by 0, that is arithmetic exception. Okay, so that statement is included in the try block. So next, after the try block, the catch block should be placed. That is, after the closing brace of the try, immediate the catch block will come. Okay, in between you are adding any statements, obviously there. The compiler will produce the error. That is syntax error. It comes coming to the part of the violation, okay, rule violation. So in the catch block, just that catch block is respective for the arithmetic exception. So we are creating the object for the arithmetic exception and displaying the object. So the description of the exception is displayed. So after the try catch block, so after the try catch block, so after the closing brace of the catch, the finally is placed. So within the finally, one statement, a simple statement, finally block is always executed. So another one statement after the final, the last statement, rest of the code. So what is the output of this program? On executing this line, obviously arithmetic exception is thrown. So the description of the exception is printed, right? If any statement in a try block is raised exception means the rest of the code in the try block is excluded. Okay, it's not executed. That is why system.out.println of data. Okay, that is not executed. So arithmetic exception is raised. So next, after the try catch block completed its execution, the thing in the finally, the statement in the finally block is always executed. That statement is printed. So this last statement, rest of the code, that statement is also printed because here the programmer had a part of the exception handling, not a JVM. Okay. So that is why the normal flow of the execution is maintained or is preserved. Okay. If you want to make the normal flow of the execution is preserved means, so the programmer will take over the part of the exception. Next, another keyword. So try over, catch over. So finally over. Another one keyword, throw. Okay. So throw. I have already told you this is the syntax for the throw. This is the keyword is used to explicitly throw an exception. Okay. It is used to explicitly throw an particular exception. So this is the syntax here. Throw and the keyword new, that is instance of the exception. Okay. Throw new exception name, which is also optional, that is in the bracket parameter error message. Okay. It is the optional one. So here one more point, throw can be throwed both exception and unchecked exception. It can throw any unchecked and unchecked exception. Okay. See here one of the throw new throwable instance. This is the instance of the exception. So I will show you the code. Actually, there are two ways to obtain a throwable object, that is using the parameter into a catch clause. You can use parameter or you can use the new operator. Let me move on to the code. Then you see here, this is one of the class bank. Okay, so in that balance equal to 100, but you are going to withdraw 1000. Okay, see that one code. If balance less than withdraw means obviously it is a problematic situation, right? So this is the possible first two lines red in color. Okay, this is one part of a declaration. First, I'm going to create a object arithmetic exception object equal to new arithmetic exception, that is no money place, which is also optional in the parameter no money place. Okay, so that object e, which is throw e. Okay, this is one kind of syntax. Okay, so this is a part of since this is a part of the arithmetic exception. I've already told you, if you are not aware of the particular name of the exception, is just simply using exception, the parent class. So exception, the parent class. The parent class uses arithmetic exception is the child class of the parent class exception. Okay. So this is one way of thing. Arithmetic exception, creating the object for the arithmetic exception, and that object is thrown. Next another thing. See the second one. Throw new arithmetic exception. Okay. So this is the way of declaring throw. So throw. So in the throw statement only, you're creating the object for the exception. Throw new arithmetic exception. Okay, within the bracket, that is the optional one. This is the another way of declaring or how to use throw. Third one, this is also another way of how to use throw. Throw new arithmetic exception. So in the parameter no money. Okay. So if exception is thrown, the if block. Okay. Else, just system.out.println, draw and enjoy. Best wishes of the day. Okay. So this is the code for how to use throw. See, this is the output. Okay. So see here the balance is less than withdraw. So 100, which is less than 1000. So if block is executed. Okay. Since if block is executed, So first two, these things are I'm already commenting. Okay. So throw new arithmetic exception. So object for the arithmetic exception is created. So no with the parameter no money. So the exception description is there. This is the description of the exception, arithmetic exception, and the parameter like no money that is displayed. Okay, so this is the way of how to use throw. Okay, so you can use throw at any place of the code. Okay, that is why that so before that you are handling exception like try catch, right? So using the try catch, your handles exception mechanism. So in throw, you can place throw at any places. Okay. Okay, students. So any doubt you are asking me and post in the chat box.